as people know, and I've talked about a little bit on this podcast and on Luke and Lewis, the toilet light in our unit has been broken for about a month now. 1 month of dark poos. It's very miserable. Reese has been staying over. You've probably had many dark wees.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying.
I've got a hectic game going.
Yeah, you just have to kind of use your phone light or turn on the bathroom light and leave the door open. There's no real way of going about it. It's mainly a phone light situation in there. And it's pretty grim, but we eventually contacted the landlord. This was after like probably 3.5 weeks of just not dealing with it at all. And then he came over for that, and he's like, fine, all right, we'll get an electrician. Still hasn't been fixed. It's still dark. I think it's nearing week 5 at the moment. And that's fine. And then the driveway is a bit messed up as well. My car keeps bottoming out on it. Every time we left for the show during the festival, everyone in the car would just be like, and then my car would go, and then it just goes, dum as it comes out. And that's every time I come into and leave my house. It just fucks up the bottom of my car. The resale on my car at this point is going to just be the scrap metal. It'll be maybe $800. It'll be pretty grim because I've just really driven this car quite literally into the ground every single day. And then we were also like, oh, come over and our heater's not working. You know, we haven't used it all summer. It was finally getting a little bit cold again. That's what happens mid-April, May in Australia. Starts getting chilly again. So we went to bust out the old heater the other night. Wasn't working. The pilot light would go on and then the fan would just turn off. Like it would start warming up and then it'll go and just turn off. I was like, this is crazy. And I was like to the guy, and this, you know, and I'm the man of the house, right? Which is embarrassing for our house. Because there's really, Meg's probably the man of the house. She's probably a better handyman than me. I'm pathetic, but I still have that part of me as a male. I don't know what it is. It's some caveman instinct where if a guy who comes around to do handyman, you have to kind of stand next to him and be like, oh yeah, I would have done that, but I just, you know, like you have to sit there and justify to yourself and the guy why you aren't good at being a typical man. And this guy came around and I was like, yeah, look, man. And I was real proud of myself because I'd taken off the lamp shade, like the light cover in the light. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've already taken the light off. And he's like, did it just unscrew? And I go, yeah. I was like, but I had to stand on a chair. So that's something. And he's like, okay, great. And then he's like, where is it? And I was like, oh, shit, I've lost it. And then he gets out of the thing and I'm like, yeah, so like my car, you know, the driveway, and I'm doing the manly thing of like, you know, like obviously I can just put a bit of concrete there. And he's like, oh no, you'd actually need the concrete over that side. I was like, oh yeah, no, you're right. I'll let you do it. You're a tradie. He's a tradie and like a proper man's man as well. Like he did the driveway. He probably built the house. I don't know.
Yeah. And
then gets to the heater and I go, mate, tell you what, I've bloody tried everything. I don't know what we can do. Like I've just, you know, I've the pilot lights on. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and he goes, yeah, right. So he did it. He puts it on, and then it, sure enough, it turned off. And I go, see, it just turns off. The thing's screwed. And he looks kind of down on the ground and he goes, did you try plugging the power plug in? And it's just dangling on the ground. And I went, nah. I didn't know it was electric. And then he goes, oh, what? So he was like, it's 7 p.m. You've kind of maybe come around mainly to fix the heater, have a look at the light, and have a look at the oven. It's just not plugged in. And I went, yeah. And Meg's looking at me like, you are a pathetic man. Like, Meg's just going like, oh, like, yeah, we must have. Meg's trying to like make excuses for me. And I'm like, just stop. All right, this is embarrassing for both of us. All right, we just have to plug it in. And then on Luke and Lewis, I started blaming you, which I didn't mean to. Lewis was like, why did you even unplug your heater? And I go, because like Reese works near the heater. And during summer, he would have just plugged his computer into that. And so I fully blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next time landlord comes, I'm like, sorry, man. This guy I have is constantly unplugging the heater. I remember doing it. It was 100% me.